they go be tortured. Here they are. Here's the camps. This is going to be our version.
Let's do a quiz of the class. Do you think this person accurately described the federal policy to which they are referring?
You know, I'm gonna go with a resounding absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Normal Gays video where we take on LGBT insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here in Miami with Clarkson Lawson.
Hey guys.
Clarkson, have you been invited to the roundup camps yet for the LGBTs in the Trump administration?
I'm really excited. I gotta make sure that I take my prep.
Oh my God.
Starting off strong in this episode.
Those camps would turn so crusty so fast.
Oh my God.
I'm glad they're not really a thing because there's not enough disinfectant in the world.
It's called Fire Island. Literally.
Anyway, this one TikToker thinks that Trump is now putting trans people in camps. Let's listen. Maybe they've stumbled onto some secret plan that just no one else has heard of or seen.
I have an open mind.
I don't, but let's listen anyway.
Per usual. That's the dynamic.
This is titled, Here Comes the Trans Camps.
Here comes the sun.
Trump is mandating that federal employees have their gender-affirming care discontinued and they go to faith-based gender conversion therapy, gender exploratory therapy as they're trying to call it now. They go be tortured. Here they are. Here's the camps. This is going to be our version. They're going to try and send us all into these conversion therapies run by fucking Christians that want to torture us. So, I don't mean to be too glum today, but because I'm having a really good day. It was shot day yesterday. Always puts me in a better mood. I don't care what he says. You can take away my health care for it and everything. I'll get it smuggled in here from China with lead paint and fucking gasoline in it and inject it right into my belly where it goes, you know? Like, fuck him. Fuck him all the way off. Fuck him to death. I'm going to survive him. No matter if it's in a concentration camp, whether they shoot me in the head or what, I'll survive it because I'm a fucking survivor.
I don't think you would.
But I'm not going to detransition Trump. I don't know anyone that is. That's what they want for us. They want to try and forcibly detransition us, and they're going to try and torture us to do it. The answer is no. The answer is no.
That was a long pause.
There is so much there. Did this person suggest they would survive being shot in the head?
That took me aback a bit.
I don't think you would, but thankfully no such thing is going to happen. Let's do a quiz of the class. Do you think this person accurately described the federal policy to which they are referring?
You know, I'm gonna go with a resounding absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
So firstly, what they're talking about is a policy for health insurance coverage for federal employees.
Right.
So there's several leaps you have to make before you get to camps and torture. The first thing is this person says federal employees are being forced to discontinue their medical treatments. That is not true. It will no longer be covered. So, for example, sex change surgeries, no longer covered.
No longer.
Hormone therapy, no longer covered
Got
in
it.
federal insurance, but you are free to pay out of pocket to continue to receive it. You can debate that, right? But let's be factually clear about what we're talking about. And now, the torture camps.
So what? I'm just confused on how they're getting to that point.
So the way they're getting to that point is I found this memo, and what it says is that medical transition will no longer be covered. However, counseling for gender dysphoria will still be covered if provided by a licensed physician or expert or by a faith-based provider. So actually, if you want to see your woke therapist for your gender dysphoria, you will be able to continue to do that. However, if people want to, they can also use this coverage to see a religious-based counselor about it, which is where they're getting conversion therapy, torture, yada, yada, yada. But again, it's like only if you want to.
You still have the choice. You're not being forced to do this.
No, it's just covered.
Yeah. I mean, I think that gender affirming care for adults should be covered, but I don't agree with the alarmism of this post. Like, you're not going to be put into a camp. That's not what's happening here. You're not being technically erased. But I do think, I think HRT should be covered.
I think surgeries being covered is a bit much. They're essentially cosmetic surgeries.
Yeah, maybe like the line should get drawn at like,
but I guess
something.
It really, for me, it comes down to a scientific question of whether hormones for adults, is that like legit medical care with lots of research behind it? I certainly used to believe that. I'm a little bit more skeptical, but I'm not against it being covered by insurance if it is. But like, none of this is how they're portraying it, though.
No.
You're just talking about whether you have to pay $40 a month for your estrogen or whether it's covered by your federal insurance.
Right.
That's literally it.
Which you can make a case. Like, the thing is if this person got on there and actually represented the truth and made a case for like, yeah, they're taking away our HRT.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn.
Sure.
That's messed up.
Talk about it.
But instead, you got on here and fabricated the story for dramatic effect.
Camps.
And then now you have
this bitch said camps.
Right. Like, now you have people like Brad and I and other people who are in the same camp, no pun intended, who are watching your video and they're like, oh, you're like psychotic. Like, what are you talking about?
I hope you're not a federal employee if you're this delusional.
Right. What are you talking about?
Also, this only applies to federal employees, which is unfortunately not that small group of people. But it's no one's forced to be a federal employee, by the way. Like, if you
can go back into the
get a real job. I mean, some federal jobs are real jobs, but a lot of them are bullshit, in my opinion, at least. And to say like, oh, they're going to force people into camps and put us in torture, when you're literally talking about only for government employees, optional coverage of something you don't have to take up, and you can still do exactly what you were doing if you just pay for it out of pocket.
If this is the camps that they were talking about, then this just proves that they were lying the whole time.
Yeah. The camps aren't that bad. So then what you're telling me is the camps are like a mildly controversial health insurance coverage decision?
Right. And also, there are no camps.
Literally,
there's no camps. Like, what are you talking about?
I know. Do they think that faith-based therapy is like done at a camp?
Yeah, they're going to send them to like the Smoky Mountains or whatever. I don't know.
You could probably find that in existence somewhere, but that is not the norm here. And it's just optional. I don't know enough about like faith-based counseling for gender dysphoria. It's different than conversion therapy for sexuality, which is extensively studied and doesn't work. There is not extensive studying of anything when it comes to gender dysphoria. There's not high quality data on any of this stuff. And so if you're an adult and you want to do a faith-based, obviously not electroshock or whatever, but if you want to do a faith-based, I don't know, okay, I guess. But again, it's voluntary. This is something people opt into. And yet it's presented as trans people being put in camps by Donald Trump.
Yeah. I mean, I have personal qualms with faith-based counseling just in general, because I just have issues with that. But I have just as much issues with that as I do with, like, if you're going to cover faith-based counseling, you've got to cover HRT. Because they're both sets of ideas that people may live by, and they do kind of encompass like a morality perspective to it. So I think the government shouldn't necessarily be pushing faith-based counseling.
Yeah, I would agree with that, because if the argument for not covering HRT is that it is not like a proven, well-studied, legitimate medical treatment, then that's certainly true for faith-based therapy. So
yeah,
I get what you're saying, one or the other. I would probably leave it open to people to choose what they want. But I don't know. Regardless, there are no camps other than Fire Island. You guys let us know what you think. Have you heard this kind of rhetoric online? Do you find it as unhelpful and ridiculous as we do?
I guess we're bored.
Sorry. I'll cut that.
You should keep it in.
We'll see. All right, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the Normal Gays YouTube channel. Hit that like button while you're at it. Remember to subscribe to Clarkson's channel as well, linked in the description, and my podcast also linked. And we'll be back with more Normal Gays content real soon.